Today, we finally did it. We finally broke through the resistance. We broke through, and there was movement. And sometimes that looks like many different things. One was that, first of all, our battery was dead. And think about what this camper is to us. It is the representation and the extension of the same as what a dog is. Things that we care about, it sort of becomes like that. You know? And so our battery was dead to go. It's interesting, right? These things matter because they represent sort of something in the body that's getting shown to you. All of this that you're seeing here is the reflection of your creation. You are the creator of this reality that you're seeing. Nothing is by accident. Nothing that you're seeing here happens randomly. It happens because of your alignment. When we realized that, we also fixed it and we bumped our elbow. We have forgotten to truly look into that. We should have done that before this recording, but that is significant because the position, the elbow, is significant, and of course the right side being masculine, it has to do with that, not having the balance of the masculine coming through. That we see reflected in our life, or have been sort of struggling a little bit with. And so we ended up going, and it was quite a shamanic journey, actually. As we were getting out, we could feel like there were things getting shed from other people, from other situations, like there was a lot that we went through just with that drive. We even experienced how grateful we are. There was this one dude that we met there from US, and we talked to him, and he was like, because he was just there where we were supposed to meet. We thought we were supposed to meet. We weren't supposed to meet there, but that's what we thought based on all of the synchronistic events that happened to us today. And this being was skateboarding with a backpack from USA through the entire Mexico. Like, that's incredible. But also we could feel like the pain. And that touched us. How grateful we are. And we have been a little bit ungrateful also. You know? Patterns from other beings that you sort of just pick up. Sometimes it's just needed with a cleanse and with a reset. Sometimes you just need a reset. That's what our hair sessions are for. If you're very new to what we're doing here, we're shifting in frequency every single day. But that can sometimes be too much for people, not knowing exactly what this is and what this is about. We're guiding you to an embodiment of your soul with your body, the conscious creator with your body. And it's very practical application that we're teaching. And for the ones that are ready for that, they are shifting every day. They have recognized that there is something special here. Because when you change your consciousness about many different things, you get into alignment with truth. And this balance of external things that you're dealing with versus the internal processing needs to be equal. Maybe not equal, but at the very least in harmony. It doesn't have to be equal, it just needs to be in harmony. It needs to feel in harmony for you. Because if you're doing this too much, then this suffers. If you do that too much, then this suffers. There's always like that. There's always two. But we are here to make those two one. And that is a very, very fancy saying. There are many people that are saying that, and then it's like, oh yeah, wow. But actually doing it is the key. Knowing what that means in practicality through the body. Sometimes you just have a little bit too much of one side and you need a reset. Sort of like a cleanse of the system. That's why we created Haya Live. They are group sessions where we guide through channeling, breath work, sacred toning, and we are moving. First and foremost, we're cleansing the body, but then secondly, we are working the body so that you will either receive healing or intuitive downloads. That's really what we're aiming for. So once we have corrected enough perspective of whatever it is that we're dealing with, which is usually a group thing, but that's why it's so important that you, before the session, you write in the comments what you actually want to shift. Take some time, think about it. Don't just let it be whatever. Actually start to okay, at the very least, say, okay, the next thing that will propel me forward to doing whatever I need to look at to get to there. Do that. Because then whatever will show itself is that it needs consciousness. All of these things. And this is what is needed sometimes. And sometimes getting a little bit deeper into nature, relaxation is what's needed. You know, that's when you go to a retreat. In this day and age, it's so important. So important to refuel with nourishment, to refuel with healing energy just from nature. I don't know if you can hear, but there's nature everywhere around. This is so healing. Wow. It's sort of tempting to just stay, you know? This is what this is going to be. This is like one of those. Just full reset. This is so nice. And so we were so grateful because this was whole orchestrated by Gaia to just like get back to gratitude. Be grateful, you know? But sometimes we have to clean away all of this, the muck. That's very easy when you're living in the city or like places that you are around people and you interact and you know, at some point you gotta cleanse a little bit. you can do all of the putting things in the heart and all of that stuff. It's work though. Everything is work, and sometimes you just gotta like, okay, I need to get out a little bit. It's sort of like getting out from the soup. Cleanse out. Okay. And so we are in the most beautiful place that we feel we've seen in a long while. It's a very beautiful place that we're staying at right now. And let us know if you want to come down here and experience some higher lives, because we are preparing for retreats here as well. So it's all in service to this consciousness, and it is time, you know, it's time to take it a step further. But if you haven't done anything, go and look at the link in the bio. There is a link all the way at the top. There is a button all the way at the top when you click on the link that you can sign up for the WhatsApp group. When you sign up for the WhatsApp group, then you will be notified about our coming events. And these are things that you can partake in both online and in person. So let us know how you are feeling. Let us know what you are dealing with right now. And write that in the comments after you sign up for the Heya Live, because that is setting things in motion so that you can start to clear and allow for the space of your guides to already start to work on it. That's the beauty. Once you have signed up, your guides are already starting to work with you, because we are opening up the space, and there is a lot of things that can shift in one of these. Because once you have programmed yourself for the right frame of mind, you're clear. You do everything better. You know? Sometimes you think that you're in a place, but after you have done a reset, you realize that, oh, I wasn't. I was in my head. But you have to get the perspective, the difference, which means that you have to then go to the opposite end, which is total relaxation. Then you have a gauge, a good gauge of how stressed your body has been, because your body is meant to be as relaxed as when you are in these retreat places, or when you have been there for a while, and totally unwind. We can feel it already now. Just after one, there's a lot of shedding that we feel is going to happen here, and we are already feeling it. Wow. This is exactly what we needed. We are already feeling so much energy getting revitalized through our system. And it's so much easier to feel it, those energies, when you are in a place like this. It's so much easier because you're less feeling, you know, the fridge, the TV, the noise there, the neighbor, the cat, the dog, the husband, wife, you know, all in the same mix. And then you have neighbors upstairs, downstairs, maybe, or just on the sides, or maybe you have a little bit, you know. Once you get into like this, and you allow yourself to relax into that, wow, that's when your system regulates, and that will allow for more intuition and more clarity. But not necessarily. There needs to be a perspective shift. You have to recognize that you don't see in order to see. And sometimes that looks like, I think that I see, but maybe I don't see. Jesus, can you show me? You know? Sometimes it's just like, you know, I think that's reality. I think that I see, but then maybe I don't. Maybe there is something more here. And sometimes you can get a feeling for this, and then you ask. Because there needs to be some movement forward. There needs to be the masculine going and taking the steps. That is what's needed. So grateful. So grateful for Gaia looking after this body and this whole project. You know? It happens to the best of us sometimes. You know, we're doing good work, but like if you're doing good work and it's just piling on, it's like, we gotta do something now. You know? That's just, it's just what it is. It's just part of the game. Sometimes this is what it is to be light workers, you know? You probably know what I'm talking about because you're probably one, you know? It's usually the ones that get drawn, but not necessarily. Not necessarily. There are a lot of beings seeking the knowledge of harmonizing their energy to be in alignment with the soul. And that sounds very, you know, it sounds very, ooh, the soul, that's not me. Yes, it is you. You are the soul. And it's about how you think that is allowing that to open. It's just the truth, the truth of human energy, of how this game works. And that's the key, knowing how this game works, and that requires shifting every single day. If you want to shift with us, you're more than welcome. I hope that this helped a little bit, like, oof, this energy here. I hope you can feel this, because you can, if you feel what's going on inside of our body, it's like we can feel the tension is loosening on many different areas that we didn't realize were tight being there. You see? It depends on where you're at. There can be tightness in the body. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Gaia. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Archangel Michael. We feel looked after. Sending you blessings. We'll talk to you again in the next one. Ciao.